All right, what is up, everybody? Throwing a leg over the new 2025 Chieftain PowerPlus Limited. The bike is already on power switch, so we're just gonna hit the ignition, and here we go. Let's start in standard mode, and let's just look at our gauges. There we go. So now we've got miles per hour, engine temperature, and gear. And we'll leave it there. Some nice long floorboards here. We're already in first gear. Nice clutch. Actually, this clutch is very light for a touring bike. Oh, I'm not sure what this guy's doing. Freaking me out. New bike. All right. Brakes feel nice and grippy. Here we go. Oh, nice sound. So I wanted to jump on this bike today. I don't have a ton of specs memorized like I usually would for a video, but I will have all those for you on the screen as we go. But today we're riding the 2025 Chieftain PowerPlus with the 112. This is a new engine, a new platform for Indian motorcycles. Well, let's go over the controls really quick. We've got this power windshield that we're going to put, I think we're going to leave it down. But that's the control here on the right. We've also got cruise control, your power switch, and your kill switch on the right. There's also a trigger here which will toggle. Usually that's a toggle for a menu. I'm not sure what it's for, but I'll have that information for you on the screen. On the left here we have horn, your light controls, some menu toggles, and oh no, this is your hazard lights. If you hold that down, you got hazards. You can see there, which is interesting that it's integrated there into the turn signal. But your turn signal and hazard is all in one, and then underneath there is your menu toggles. And then on the left here, trigger, that is your trigger for toggling through this menu, which has all kinds of information, probably more information than we need on this test ride, but I will have a link for the infotainment system for the Chieftain PowerPlus. This is limited, so we've got lots of chrome. This is a look for that gives like a vintage look with all this chrome. Nice fit and finish. It's got this nice flake in the paint here on this red color. Really nice looking motorcycle. Plenty of power, and we're going to test all that out here. We're just in standard mode to get just to get rolling. Try and get ahead of this big cement truck. So we talked about the controls. Let's talk about the riding positions. We got these giant floorboards here, which make it so you've got plenty of space to put your feet and adjust them as you would, you know, because if you're riding along on a tour, if you're riding on a long distance on a trip, you can stretch your leg out here. You can have it up more like a mid control, and you have that adjustability when you've got a giant floorboard, which is really nice. It's got a nice rubbery grip to it. These handlebars come way back to you, so really this riding position is nice and relaxed. It's nice and comfortable. This seat is really soft, but it does also have a decent amount of firmness, so that I don't feel like I'm gonna hit the bottom of that pan and it's gonna be a pain in my rear after a while. We are getting a decent amount of buffeting here, even at 45 miles an hour. Let's try and put this windshield up and see what difference that makes. And that's going to obstruct your view a little bit, but that's okay, because it does have this vent here at the bottom, which is nice. Here we go. In standard mode, we're going to get on it a little bit. So the buffeting is a little bit less, and also we're probably getting less wind noise here with the windshield in the all the way up position. Oh, nice brakes. I can feel anti-lock kicking in there, which comes standard on, of course, on a big touring expensive motorcycle like this. This one starts out, this model here specifically, with we call this Sunset Red Metallic, starts at $32,500. If you just get the black model, you're looking at cutting almost $1,000. And then another heavy metal, which I'm guessing is a gray color, and I'll have all those different color varieties on the screen for you, so you can check those out. 112 CI. It has rider assist. 126 horsepower, 133 feet-pounds of torque, and we're going to test all that out. Even in standard mode here, this ride is pretty aggressive. Let's see if we can go around here. It's slower, people. Oh, yeah. The sound there is really nice from that exhaust. And even in this riding positions, that's really relaxed with my hands low because of these handlebars that come sweeping back towards you. I don't feel like maybe it's because I've got this wind protection that I'm like it's too overwhelming for me to get on the throttle. Sometimes when you're in a relaxed riding position, getting on the throttle and getting super aggressive with your riding can feel unnerving because you feel like you're holding on for dear life, but that's not the case here. At least in standard mode. It does feel like I gotta like clench my butt cheeks and engage the core to stay upright, but it's not let's just say it's not for the faint of heart. And if you're somebody who's just getting into touring and maybe it's a little uncomfortable on touring bikes, you might want to stick it in rain mode. So we're gonna try that out. Put it in rain mode, get off the throttle. Yeah, and I can already feel that difference here just as we're rolling on the throttle. Let's get into this turn, this wide sweeping turn. Yeah, this bike feels really good here. You know, this bike is not a light motorcycle. It's a touring bike. It's got bags, fairing. It's got this 112 cubic inch PowerPlus engine in it. But still, it feels very well balanced, and the weight distribution feels nice, so it doesn't feel top heavy. I will say though, when that truck pulled out in front of us before we got started, there was a little moment of panic, maybe in my brain, because of how heavy and how much it feels when you're going at slow speeds. But once you get going, you kind of forget, and that's kind of the signature, I think, of a well-designed, well-balanced motorcycle. We've already done a hard stop. The suspension here feels really nice. Obviously, on touring, you're going to get this very comfortable suspension. But I didn't feel like the comfortable suspension tuning. Oh yeah. See, now when I roll on that throttle, that power delivery is very linear. So even from a stop, I would say, like, if you've got $35,000 to spend on a touring motorcycle, this is something you want to consider because it has a really nice look, a really nice fit and finish. Performance-wise, it's top notch. And in rain mode, if you're just getting used to something that has so much power, you can do that and not feel out of control. And that's something I think that probably intimidates people who are even considering leveling up to a touring motorcycle or something that has a little more weight, a little more power. And so I would say give this one a try. Throw a leg over, maybe take it for a test ride on a demo ride and see if it's something that's for you. So we're in rain mode here. Gonna get slow speed, this turn here. Oh yeah, really confident here in that turn. Got self-canceling turn signals. Yeah. The nice thing too is with that exhaust, sometimes when you're riding at slower speeds with an exhaust on a stock exhaust, it kind of makes it so at slower speeds it's quiet, and then when you get on it and you rev the RPMs in a higher range, then it livens up. But this exhaust from the get-go has a nice growl, a nice low rumble. Something I definitely noticed. Yeah. Whew. Very nice. Yeah, and like for such a large bike, like pretty nimble. Yeah, brakes are very nice too. I noticed on the Springfield that just using the front brake didn't feel like enough. And what I will say is, on this bike, if I just use the front brake, it doesn't feel like it's bogging down the suspension, and it does feel like I can just use the front brake. I know when you're first learning to ride, they tell you to use both brakes all the time, which you should, but I do know that some people don't, and some people just use that front brake. And this front brake has plenty of power. I believe it has the dual discs, and I'll have brake specs for you down here on the screen. And I probably already would have put suspension specs for you, but if not, they'll be here for you now. Stay there. Thank you. All right. Well, we're going to get on the highway here, so we got to try out sport mode. Duh. These people, they're U-turners here. Jeez. Okay. All right. Well, going from rain to sport maybe wasn't the greatest idea. Maybe I should have went from standard to sport, but nevertheless, here we go, getting on the highway. Really get an idea of this. Oh, we're gonna get around this truck. Really putting a wrench in this. I don't really like to ride this way, weaving in and out, but holy crap, we're still in 5th gear. Oh boy. And it's so easy, and this wind protection is nice. Obviously it's buffeting my head, but like it really cuts back on the wind noise. It's probably the most noticeable thing. It's darn near quiet behind this this windshield. Traffic slowing down up here, but holy cow. All right, so I've definitely ridden Chieftains in the past. I've definitely ridden the Challenger with I believe those had the 116 cubic inch Thunderstroke. The 112 PowerPlus, this is different. I know that all of this still looks the same. I don't think there's a whole big of a difference between this screen, which if you look at Harley, it's probably if we're gonna compare like this to the Street Glide, Harley's got this, they've revamped everything, right? They have, the screen's huge. You've got all this digital things to look at, but there's something about the simple, smaller screen. You still have all this information, but you also have the analog dash up here that, I don't know, it's nice. It's a nice look to me, and especially if you're somebody who enjoys a more traditional motorcycle, this is definitely going to do it for you. Plus, you got all this chrome, all these chrome pieces. Yeah, I really like this bike, and I can nothing but just have praise for the PowerPlus 112 engine. Obviously, exhaust has a lot to do with it, but the sound, the feel, we're talking about acceleration and all this power. But when you can adjust that with the ride modes, you can get that power when you want it, and it doesn't have to feel like you're just riding by the seat of your by the skin of your teeth all the time. Which again, this is just a bonus, right? And all these things are really clear. Even these digital displays here within here, these aren't super clear. This is probably one of the big things that I would say, even on like the Scout or the Springfield that just has this analog and then digital, is that these numbers here aren't always the most clear. So that's probably one complaint that I would have. If we could change this up to be a little more clear, maybe have a little more definition in it, like this one here. Looks much more clear to me than that one. Is that a blind spot monitor? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put here on the screen. There's a blind spot monitor on this motorcycle, and it lights up here on the, oh my gosh. That just blew my mind. We were just talking about having adaptive cruise control. My friend Sean here is also at the demo rides here, and how adaptive cruise control probably isn't a great idea on a motorcycle, but blind spot monitoring is, and we've got blind spot monitoring on this bike. And of all the safety features that I was able to test on the Harley Davidson motorcycles not too long ago, neutral was fair enough, easy to find. The shift lever has a really nice distinct click to it when you shift gears. That I like. We haven't really talked about mirrors, but what we will talk about mirrors now, because it has these built-in lights to show so that you don't just see the blind spot monitoring here on the screen, but also it gives you an indicator here on the light, which you see there's cords going into these lights. You can see plenty out of these mirrors. this frame isn't nice. This frame isn't very wide like it is on some of the other models, so you get a lot of visibility. When you're riding, the vibration doesn't make it so you can't not see out of them. And like I said, the clutch and the brake levers are very light, especially for a tourer. So like high praise for this motorcycle. Let's put this windshield back down since I'm not going to be going at high speeds anymore. I'm gonna make it so you guys can see a little more. So yeah, wow. Okay, you got a compass down there, which is not a huge deal since you have the whole screen here with navigation on it. I would like to see maybe a hill start assist, because I'm on this hill here and I was trying to hold down that brake hard to see if that hill assist was there, but I don't believe it is. I'll put it on the screen here if it's an option or if it's something that should be working and I'm not, just not doing it right. But yeah, oh wow. Okay, so lots of tech on this bike. As I've said to some of the other riders out here today, so much of choosing a bike and deciding which bike you like best or which fits you best has so much to do with just preference. Sometimes it's just the way the bike looks. But what I will say are there are advantages to both. Harley has a ton of baked in standard technology on their touring bikes and even on the Softail models now. But this bike, this is a huge safety feature to me. You know, all the like the cornering ABS that Harley has and all those things that are available are one thing, but this is a simple feature that I think is really important, because how often do we lose people in our blind spot? And you know, if you're not somebody who vigilantly checks your blind spot like me, it's really nice to have this light flashing at you saying, hey, there's somebody there, don't get over. So yeah, I've talked enough about it. I'm really impressed with the Indian Chieftain. Like I said, it doesn't seem like the whole lot of it has changed. The look hasn't changed that much. The feel, though, has changed a lot in my opinion. I feel like it's more comfortable to ride. I feel like the throttle response and just the overall ride quality in general has been improved. So yeah, oh my gosh, is there also a warning here if I'm approaching too fast? I think there is. Wow. Okay, so I will have all of those safety features for you on the screen so that I don't have to keep talking about it. But I am really impressed with this bike. Fit and finish, rideability, all of those things just are big gold stars for me. If you have questions about the Chieftain PowerPlus 112, make sure you leave them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. This is the limited model, which is why it looks so why it looks so fancy. Oh, I let that clutch all out at once. That's not smart in sport mode. Let's put it back in standard for the next rider. Oh, okay. But guys, if you enjoyed this ride, if you had fun with me, if you like what you saw, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Everybody, if you're out there riding, please be safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I am that one guy. And I am out.